Welcome back to another episode of the Bad Influence Podcast. I am Jordan Banderas, and before we begin, don't forget to hit that follow, subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my episodes. If you have been listening to me for a while, you probably have heard me mention before how my family is toxic to me. And what's funny about that is that when I say that to people, they always say something like, family. You need to understand, Jordan. This is what they say to me. You need to understand, Jordan, that family is the bedrock of society, the cornerstone of our lives, the cardboard box that we get handed when we are born and that we're expected to live in just because we share some fucking DNA. So, when I hear that, I always ask, but what if that box is toxic? What if those little genetic connections are causing you more harm than good? Well, you are not alone if you're wondering about that. Because toxic families are like genetically mutated pink elephants. They're impossible to ignore and will never be forgotten. Believe me. I always remember my family because of all the shit that they have done, but I have been able to process that and move on with my life. But this is what I want to talk about on today's episode. What if you don't want to interact with those elephants, right? If you're like me, if you're like, I need to cut them off. What if you're ready to cut them off? Well, here's what worked for me when I made the big decision to cut my family out of my life. But let's start with the basics because a lot of people don't understand what a toxic family is. So what exactly is a toxic family? Well, psychologists define it as a family that undermines the emotional well-being of one or more of its members. In layman's terms, it's a family that makes you feel like shit. Probably some of your family members have done that to you. Maybe you're lucky enough that you don't even have to deal with that shit. But maybe it's a parent who constantly criticizes you and it's emotionally unstable. A sibling who torments you, or an uncle who sees you as a bank account and wants money without any conditions, like in my case. But whatever the specifics are, if you feel like you're drowning in negativity every time you're around them, you might be dealing with toxic family members. Now, it's not an easy decision to make, but sometimes the best thing you can do for your sanity and mental health is to cut your toxic family members out of your life. And sometimes you have to cut all of them off. If this is something you're considering, remember this. You don't owe anyone your time, your energy, or your emotional labor. Just because someone's your family doesn't mean they get a free pass to treat you like shit. Take a step back, evaluate the situation, and make the decision that feels right for you. Don't make the decision for them. Make it for you. If all they're doing is holding you back, bringing you down, telling you that you suck, that you will never be good enough for anything in life, and they don't let you fly off the nest, it's time to cut them off. But it's also worth noting that cutting off toxic family members isn't about revenge or punishment. This is very important. It's not about winning an argument or getting the last word in. It's about self-preservation and putting yourself first. And healthy boundaries are absolutely crucial when it comes to toxic relationships. And cutting off toxic family members is a perfectly valid way to set those boundaries. Again, it's a perfectly valid way to set those boundaries. Believe me, after I did this, I'm at peace and feel like I'm in control of my life. I had to let my family go. Even though we're a very small family, the family nucleus, the family unit wasn't there. So why would I stay there when it was bringing me down? I felt like I was taken advantage of. They always tried to take pretty much my ideas away from me. They did so many fucking things. So why should you stay there if you're going through the same thing, right? And a lot of people say, well, it's hard to cut off your family because, again, they're your DNA. They're your brother, your sister, your mom, your grandparents. Like, it's hard. And of course, cutting off family members is easier said than done. It can come with a lot of guilt, shame, and fear. You might worry that you'll be shunned or ostracized by the rest of your family, right? And that's totally fine. And you also feel like cutting off your parents means you'll never be able to have a healthy relationship with them in the future. And all of these fears are valid, but they're also often unfounded. Because at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, is it worth sacrificing my own well-being for the sake of keeping up appearances? My answer to that question is fuck no. Like, I don't have to be there with my family just to show that we're a family when we're not. If I'm not enjoying time with my family because they're bringing me down, or they're shooting my ideas down, or they're doing all this shit, why should I be there? What, just to keep up with appearances, saying like, for somebody to say like, oh, they're a happy family? Fuck that, right? So what do you do after you decide to cut off your toxic family members then? First and foremost, take care of yourself. Lean on your support system, whether it's a partner, friend, therapist, or all of the above. Whoever is part of your support system, lean on them. Nurture yourself and focus on rebuilding your self-esteem and confidence, because you are not alone. And there are people out there who love and care about you. And at the end of the day, cutting off toxic family members is a deeply personal decision. There's no one-size-fits-all solution. And you're the only one that can truly understand the complexities of your relationship with your family. However, if you're struggling with toxic family members, know that you are not alone and that cutting them off is always an option. And it's always going to be there for you. So it's okay to prioritize your own well-being, and you don't owe anyone else an explanation for why you choose to cut them out of your life. Family is important, yes, but your mental health and emotional well-being are even more important. So if you decide to do this, don't hesitate, just do it. Block them from your phone, block them from your life. Take that time that you need so you can actually rebuild yourself, rebuild your self-esteem, rebuild your inner warrior, rebuild everything that they destroyed. Because there are families like that. There are families that are going to fucking destroy you, and they don't care. And I say without any judgment or anything like that, any hate. My family did that. They did unconsciously. That's one of the things that I realize now. A lot of families do this unconsciously. They don't know what they're doing because they've been like that pretty much their entire life. So they have kids, and guess what happens? They do it to their kids. And then, unfortunately, us, the kids, have to make a hard decision, which in this case, it's to cut them off so we can actually live our lives the way we're supposed to live them. And that's pretty much it for today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more inspiring content. Remember to keep an open and engaged Remember to keep an open mind and engage in respectful discussions in the comments below. Remember to share, like, and subscribe, and hit that notification button to stay tuned for more content. And here are my final thoughts. Family means nothing these days. Create your own family, even if it's with people that are not related to you, and have a great day.